I've been playing my Amiga 600 and my Amiga 500 Mini quite a bit off stream, and I'm happy today to bring you 10 of the best hidden gems on this amazing home computer, and I'm even going to throw in a bonus game. We've been doing a lot of stuff with the Amiga and its glorious ecosystem recently. We've added additional games, we've tested various USB devices including a PS4 controller, we've reviewed the A500 Mini, we've compared gameplay footage between an Amiga 600 fitted with internal GoTech drive and an Amiga 500 Mini, and guess what guys, we are not stopping there. So if you like all things Amiga, subscribe and enjoy this episode. Let's get into it. Benefactor released in 1994 and is also available on the Amiga CD32. This is a gorgeous mix between a little bit of puzzle and platforming all in one, and if you're familiar with Lemmings, you might have a marginal indication as to what this is about. Your protagonist is called benefactor. Love what they did there, and you've got to navigate the little levels here. When I say little, the freaking aspect ratio is tiny. I really should have altered some settings, but I left them in their native state. But you're on the levels, you have to collect keys, you have to go and rescue or set free the little red guy reminiscent of a lemming. You can collect little power-ups such as shoes that make you jump that little bit further to access different ledges, and then you've got to get your lemming to the exit, and then you've got to get yourself to the exit. Like the previous title, Brian the Lion was also released in 1994, and you take the role of this gorgeous lion in his Hawaiian blue shorts as you navigate the 2D side-scrolling platform levels. Now Brian, good old Bri, he has a number of ways to kill enemies. He can bash snakes rather, on their head, or utilise his mighty claws, which I found a hell of a lot more difficult. So what I would suggest if you play this is to utilise good old Brian's jump skills as well as his claws, but your jump here is definitely your main weapon, and this guy is so cute. He is a hidden gem on the Amiga for sure. You have to play Brian the Lion. Deliverance released on the Amiga in 92 and later on the Mac in 1993. Now for me, out of this list, this is one of two of amazing looking games with really awesome sprite work, which you'll see especially during the combat. I mean, check it out then as the protagonist swung the axe backwards and forwards, and here you can see that same action again. We take out bats, we take out xenomorph looking enemies. There's a variety of enemies on Deliverance. Now you have to collect keys and progress through these doors and just continue in a Metroidvania style-esque game. It looks stunning, and whilst this game definitely lacks in any soundtrack, I think the gameplay holds up really well, and that's why I've added this game. It's fantastic and you need to check out Deliverance. Entity is up next, in which we control said protagonist in her bikini and Wellington boots. Anyway, this is a pretty fun title with a bit of a weird eclectic mixture of a bit of sci-fi with our weaponry here, with our notable laser beams firing at prehistoric dinosaurs. It's actually quite a fun game to play, and I will say that sometimes your timing is essential. As you can see that back in that shot, I failed miserably to land on the platforms, and some of these platforms spawn in and you've got to be really quick, unlike me, to actually get through and access different areas of the levels. Entity released in 1992, but here in 2022, I've thoroughly enjoyed getting to grips after a recommendation from Thomas. Check it out, guys. This is Entity on the Amiga. There's a high chance that you've never played Legacy and you may have never actually heard of it. And that's because it was unreleased. There's very, very little information about this game on the internet, but what I can tell you is that it looks absolutely fantastic. And your protagonist has an axe that shoots these wicked fireballs into your enemies. And you've got to have a lot of agility about your character to be able to dodge various enemies, axes that rise up out of the floor, and whatever else is thrown at you in this game. Now, credit goes to a YouTuber by the name of Per-Ola Eriksson, who released this footage. And in the gameplay on the levels themselves, there's no music. Perhaps that was because the game was unfinished. I don't know, I'm speculating there. But the gameplay is absolutely phenomenal. It feels really nice, and you have to go around the levels and find these switches that open different doors to access, again, more areas of the level. It's a classic 90s kind of side-scrolling platform game. You've got to check out Legacy, guys. It's a real shame when these games don't get released, because just look at it. In the mid-90s, two incredibly talented guys made Odyssey. There's quite a lot to this game, and I think doing this brief overview certainly doesn't do it any justice if you choose to either play it or research it yourself. You play as a prince and you navigate levels, activating various switches to open doors, killing enemies. Come on, it's a classic 90s platform side-scrolling formula. But one of the really cool features of this game was that you can morph into different beasts, and obviously each beast has a different skill set, enabling you to traverse the levels in a different way. So from the get-go, the game has some really nice sound effects. I love the way the footsteps sound in the dungeons, and you can hear the wind whipping through some of the, early parts of the levels. It really does add to the tension and atmosphere in Odyssey. I will say I found this game quite difficult, albeit one of those games that I think has a lot of lure to it, and I just found myself wanting to play more and more. So pick up your gamepads, turn on your Amigas, and get yourselves into Odyssey. This is difficult again from the outset. Some levels are not accessible, so there's a pattern to this. You can't just pick a world and roam. You have to pick the right world, build up your skill set, and then progress. Enjoy it, guys, and do be sure to let me know what you think. Oops Up was one of the earlier games to be released. It was actually 1990 within this Hidden Gems list, and as you can see, it might look a little bit familiar, and that's because this is a fantastic Pang clone with an awesome little soundtrack. Pretty darn cool, and I absolutely love the colour palette on the different backgrounds that we've got here. Yes, this game might lack in its animations, but sometimes the most simple games are the most effective games, and I think that's why Pang and such like really do shine. If you've not played this, guys, I would strongly recommend you get yourselves a little copy and you get yourselves stuck in to Oops Up.
Welcome to 1992 and welcome to Risky Woods. It's worth noting here that you can also snag yourselves a copy of Risky Woods on your Sega Mega Drive consoles, but if you much prefer your home computer scene, then Risky Woods on the Amiga is gonna be a game for you. Risky Woods is not without challenge. Sometimes you can trigger the level to flip upside down, which makes it nigh on impossible if your name is Gemma, like me, because this game is pretty challenging and you need to be really quick. Now, if you've played Super Ghouls and Ghosts, you'll know how quickly those enemies come in from the left and the right, and in Risky Woods, you're going to be facing lots of enemies coming at you quite quickly. That is why it's important to go through the levels and collect your coins so you can upgrade your weapons in ye old shop. Ruff Rogers is our protagonist star in this next game, Ruff and Tumble, released in 1994, and I'm going to say this now, this is my favourite game in this hidden gem list. Ruff and Tumble is a platform shoot 'em up that is fast and looks stunning, and I'm not gonna lie guys, it reminds me of a certain blue hedgehog. Not necessarily the character, but some of the level designs, the colour palette, definitely have that Sonic theme. Ruff and Tumble did pretty well from the Amiga days with one of the highest review scores at 92%, and that was by the one for Amiga Games as per good old Wikipedia. And it's no surprise that that 92% is definitely warranted because I can't put this thing down. In fact, you'll notice in this episode that I've devoted the most gameplay to this game, and we're going to let that play out now before we reveal what the bonus game is going to be in this list. Virocop hit the Amiga scene in 1995, and we play as a robot who is trying to clear a bit of an infestation in a virtual games world. Now, what tickled me in doing my research further than playing the game was that the robot is called Dave. Now, for me, that's just classic British humour, giving a robot who is trying to clear a virtual games park from a virus is pretty darn tongue-in-cheek, if I do say so myself. I think it's super cute, and this run and gun experience will have you hooked for hours. So the gameplay that I captured is in the very early stages, and it looks like the Micro Machines, you know, that racetrack on Micro Machines with the pool table or snooker table. I mean, it just kind of again took me down to that level of nostalgia with playing Micro Machines, but you can also expect different themed worlds, such as an ice hockey world as well, with a boss at the end of each level. So this is brilliant, guys. It's colourful, it's cute, it's fast, it's furious, and you play as a yellow robot called Dave. What is not to love? Okay, I admit, this is my guilty pleasure game. This is Flyhard. Now, I spent the most time recording footage for this game. And as you can see, I'm pretty poor at this game. My brain couldn't compute. I'm nearly 39 for crying out loud. I was a little bit rusty in my reflexes, but this was so cool and I desperately wanted to carry on and beat it. I'm chucking it in there. It's a nice physics-based shooter. You've basically got to take out the enemies, or rather the mechs that are on the screen in order to progress. Needless to say, I didn't get very far, guys. So if you want to roast me in the comments, please go gentle.
What a list of hidden gems on the Amiga. I've thoroughly enjoyed doing this episode, and what's more amazing is since I've been compiling and editing and recording for this, you guys have been hot on the community tab, suggesting even more. So if you want more Hidden Gem Amiga Games episodes, well, there'll be definitely more Amiga content from me, but if you want more Hidden Gem stuff, let me know. Make some recommendations, and you need to subscribe because you're going to miss it otherwise. So like I said in the voiceover, Ruff and Tumble, oh my goodness, what a game, what an amazing game. It just seemed so full of vibrancy and colour. I loved the character, I felt like a little bit of Sonic 3 as I was playing through Ruff and Tumble in those earlier levels with the similar colour palette. I just think for me, it's games like that really define the 90s, the likes of Sonic 3. We need to definitely give more love to the likes of, you know, Ruff and Tumble on the Amiga because, well, it's the Amiga and it's the British gaming scene and we need to keep it alive. So, guys, I'm going to leave it there. I'm going to hand the reins over to you and let me know what your thoughts are. Thank you for watching. I'm hoping to get my brand new Amiga 500 back, recapped, redone, beautiful, and I'm putting this out there now. If you watched the episode where I picked up an Amiga 500 Plus and an A590, in that episode I started to to fix the mouse. It was very yellow. We started the hydrogen peroxide process, and I can tell you the results are astounding. I'm going to put the results in that part 2 of the Amiga 500 project. I'll link the first one in the cards anyway. Guys, it's been great having you. My name's Gemma, and I'll see you in the next one. Cheers.
I need a few seconds of your time to tell you about channel memberships. If you guys want to become a channel member, click join from the main page or the second link in the description. There are 3 tiers, all with different perks for you if you want to become a team member. Thanks for your time. Let's continue with the video.